Hey there, boils and ghouls. It's your friend Taryn Tats. I'm back with another video. I got a new 4K Blu-ray to talk about. You already know which one it is by the title of the video. And I'm going to do the 4K review, and hopefully if you guys will stick around for just a couple of minutes after the review. I got, some cool new movies I picked up to add to the collection, and hopefully you'll stick around and see what I got. So, some good spookies for the Halloween season. And including this one. So today, thanks to Scream Factory, we have the 4K Blu-ray of Wes Craven's 1989 horror classic Shocker, and this is a movie I adore. And just I've said it before. I'm a diehard Wes Craven devotee. I love his movies. I personally think that, even though people said, oh, the remake of Hills Have Eyes is better, or the remake of Last House on the Left is better, it's like, no, I'm sorry. Just for me, Craven's movies are the best ones. Sorry, that's just my opinion. But his original Nightmare on Elm Street was definitely the better movie. I think we all agree there. But yeah. But Shocker, this is a movie I enjoyed. This is a movie I still enjoy it to this day. I have a lot of fun with it. Um, this is a movie that back in the video rental days, I remember going and just, renting this thing. I rented it a bunch of times, and finally, when I was able to get out of high school, start working, and, eventually, like, VHS started to become, a thing that you could actually own. I did get around to buying this, and one of these days I need to tell my VHS story. I don't know if anybody's going to want to hear it, but one of these days I need to tell my story about whatever happened in my VHS library. But anyway, so yeah, so this is a movie I bought on VHS. I bought it on DVD. I bought the Scream Factory Blu-ray, and now I get to have beautiful 4K. And we even got some new bonus features here. So there's the back of it. And on the 4K, we got new 4K restoration from the original camera negative, presented in Dolby Vision and Dolby Atmos. Audio commentary with director for photography Jacques Hyken, co-producer Robert Engelman, and composer William Goldstein. Audio commentary with writer-director Wes Craven. Let's see here. On the Blu-ray with the bonus features, restoration of the original camera negative, interview with composer William Goldstein, interview with actor Peter Berg, who I thought that was definitely an interesting little new interview that they were able to get with him, because, to be honest with you, I figured now, he's big Hollywood director and stuff like that. I figure, he probably wouldn't try to, like, forget about this movie and, just like, yeah, that's part of my past. I don't even want to revisit it. But no, he does give a, excuse me, he does give a very nostalgic and, very enlightened interview, and talking about what it was like to work with Wes Craven, and how, watching Wes Craven work as a director influenced him into, into his becoming a film director. And so it's really good. And then we got interview with production designer Cynthia Charette. Then you got a lot of the old bonus features imported over from, the Blu-ray. Then you got the two audio commentaries, one with Wes Craven, one with Jacques Hyken, Robert Engelman, and William Goldstein. You got the Cable Guy interview with actor Mitch Pileggi. You got Allison's Adventures interview with actor Kami Cooper. It's Alive interview with executive producer Shep Gordon. No More Mr. Nice Guy, the music of Shocker, featuring interviews with music supervisor Desmond Child and soundtrack artist Bruce Kulick from Kiss, Jason McMaster, Dangerous Toys, Kane Roberts, Alice Cooper, and Dave uh, Ellefson from Megadeth. Sorry if I mispronounced that. You got the theatrical trailer, radio spots, storyboard gallery, TV spots, vintage making of, and still gallery. So yeah, so you do get the wealth of bonus features from before, and you get some new ones. So that is really nice. And here's the edition here. It's very basic, very simple. Just shows you everything that's on there. Unfortunately, this is your disc art, not the most unique or interesting. as you can tell, it's pretty much about the same thing, and just it's about it. So yeah, unfortunately, not the most eye-catching disc art that Scream Factory has ever done, and obviously no reversible cover art. So it's very basic and mild. But anyway, I guess just be happy that we finally got this Wes Craven classic on 4K. So yeah, so that's what you get, and we're gonna put it into the case. Dun, 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 dun. There we go. Nice and protected. So it's right there whenever I want to watch it. And this is a movie I've watched many, many, many times. Like I said, I used to rent this movie quite a bit back in the VHS video store days, and I watched it a lot. And now that it's on 4K, I plan to watch it a lot more. The transfer on here is very good. The sound is amazing, especially the music. But you can hear, the sound effects come through quite clear. Um, the picture quality is really well done, but I do have to admit that unfortunately, and hear me out on this, this is a movie that unfortunately doesn't really benefit very well from 4K restoration. And it's not because the movie is, it's not because the movie is like badly photographed or anything like that. Scream Factory did a great job with the transfer. It looks, it's easily the best this movie has ever looked. Some of the colors, some of the scenes really pop out, some of the detail. One thing I definitely noticed that really surprised me is until I watched it on the 4K, I never realized like how kind of, I don't want to say run down, but like lived in Jonathan Parker's house was. Because that always seemed to me, like watching on VHS or DVD is like, yeah, he always seemed to have this kind of like really cleaned up kind of house. And but then is like, you see like a lot of like, some scratches on the wall or some chipped paint or some scuff marks on the floor. You see it a lot. You see it a lot better with the 4K now. Um, the reason why I would say this doesn't benefit very well is sadly this movie. Okay, for one thing, you're talking about 1989, um, green and blue screen visual effects, and some of it really doesn't hold up very well, even with the Dolby Vision. It's just unfortunately some of the visual effects look really obvious. The practical effects do look really good, but also too, unfortunately, there are a number of continuity flubs in this movie, and I mean, it's like I accept that, and I know it's not a perfect film. I know that this movie does have some flaws in it, but I choose to, my personal opinion, I choose to just push all that aside and continue to be a fan of this movie and continue to love it. And like for example, at the beginning of the movie when Jonathan Parker is, I mean, you could always kind of see it, but when Jonathan Parker when he's doing his football practice and stuff, you can always kind of see it. But with the 4K, it's very, very noticeable. You can see like when he's running up and down the field and trying to evade from being tackled and stuff like that. You can see the shadows of the sound and the camera crew running around and everything else. You can clearly see it's a lot more visible. Certain things like that. Another thing that is pretty obvious is, near the ending when you're getting to the climactic scene when Pinker and Jonathan Harker are, going through the TV channels and stuff, and it doesn't look horrible or anything, but at the same time, it's kind of like, I think it does kind of date the movie quite a bit because now with everybody having high definition TVs and 4K televisions and stuff like that is like it does kind of unfortunately like end up lending this movie to the point it's going to get where it's like it's going to feel very dated, and the TV effects and everything are going to seem really primitive. They some of it doesn't hold up, but also too, like the scene when Harker or Park. The problem is you got Jonathan Parker in Shocker, and then you got Jonathan Harker in Dracula. So I'm trying not to call him Jonathan Harker, but it's not very easy. But like Parker and Horace Pinker come into the family's living room, and one thing that you're definitely going to notice is that there is a lot of ADR going there. You see, like the husband of the family, like, hey, we got a cheese whiz or we got a cheese spread or what? And you see the guy is just clearly standing there. He's not saying anything. He's just standing there, like taking a bite out of a sandwich, and then, he gets hurled around, and and then like the mother who's sitting on the couch, is like when Jonathan, snatches the remote out of her hand, you can clearly hear her say, "Hey, he's taking our remote." But the problem is you can clearly see her face, the detail of her face, and you could clearly see her mouth is not moving. So that's what I mean when I say that unfortunately this movie doesn't really benefit that well from a 4K release. It's just, it just makes some of the continuity issues and stuff in the movie that much more easy to see. And just like I said, some of some of the visual effects and everything doesn't hold up. Some of it doesn't look that bad. Like when at the beginning, just after the beginning of the movie when Jonathan's having excuse me, his first nightmare, and you see him and Allison walking. Then you see the kids running into the street and they disappear. That still looks pretty good. So some of the visual effects look pretty good. Just unfortunately, just not all of them hold up. And so that's just something to consider. Definitely the dream sequence where Jonathan and Allison fall into the bed and it's water and the water goes over it. Yeah, unfortunately, that really doesn't hold up very well. But overall, though, as a Wes Craven fan, as a fan of this movie, um, I'm glad that the movie got a 4K release. It may not, you know, um, it may not have benefited from it much, but I'm glad that we got it. And as a Wes Craven fan, I'm glad that I was able to get this. And I don't regret spending the money on it. You know, at the end of the day, I still got a really good horror comedy, kind of a horror spectacle film, and a movie that, like I said, I've enjoyed it many, many times growing up, and I plan to enjoy it many, many more times. Going on into the future, and still, I don't berate Scream Factory or anything. I think they did a good job. I honestly think they did the best they could under the circumstances. You know, but yeah. So just be aware of that. Just be aware, like some things are going to look a little obvious when you're watching this transfer, but it's a good transfer, and they did a good job. Not the most inspired, like I said, the disc art wasn't really the most imaginative, but hey, they did give us some new bonus features. That's always a plus. So so I would recommend it if you're a Wes Craven fan like me, you're a fan of the movie like me. I would say, yeah, go ahead and pick it up, but just kind of know what you're in for. But yeah, that's just me. If you're happy with the Blu-ray or whatever, that's fine too. So, but yeah, and nothing else, just get the movie. I don't care how. Just Blu-ray, DVD, VHS, 4K. Just get it because it still is a really good movie, a good story. I think this would have made a great book. You know, I mean, I'm glad to have it as a movie, but I think if this, Craven had written this as a book, I think it would have been fantastic because your imagination could really go to work with a story like this. But but anyway, so there's that. And if I can just have one more minute of your time, just want to show you a couple of things I picked up. Yeah, I went back and got some good movies for sale. This one here, this is one that I had on DVD. I now upgraded it to Blu-ray. This is Jezebel. Um, I watched this last night. It's a good movie. It is a pretty good movie. It's a slow burn, but a good, ghost story, and the ending will grab you. That's for sure. But yeah, I mean, overall, I had fun with this movie. I enjoyed it, and like I said, yeah, it is a little bit of a slow burn. It takes a little bit to get going, but once it goes, it goes. But yeah, Jezebel, not too bad. This one here, I got a really good deal for the Blu-ray. I know that this is on 4K, but to be truthfully honest with you, this is a movie I'm probably not going to be watching all that often, so I can just live with it on Blu-ray, and that is Pray for the Devil. So yeah, got this for $6. So really good condition. So yeah, I think I can just live with this on Blu-ray. Like I said, just it's just not something I'm gonna, if it had been a deal like I got a good deal on it for the $6 and watch it and be like, okay, this is a movie I could see myself watching over and over again. Then I would be like, yeah, upgrade this to I want to upgrade this to 4K at some point. But you know what, Blu-ray. This is a case where Blu-ray is good enough. So anyway, like I said, if I loved the movie a little bit more, I would say that. But and this here, it's kind of funny because just a few days ago I watched a video on Planet CHH's channel where he was showing off some new DVDs that he picked up. I know I bought a DVD. I'm going to hell, but uh, he showed some DVDs he bought, and he got this one with the cool slipcover. And I just remember always thinking, yeah, that always was really cool slipcover on this DVD. And then lo and behold, I went in. Yesterday, and went into a local bookstore and they had it, and just $5, and I got it, and that is the Texas Chainsaw Massacre: The Beginning, the unrated DVD with that awesome, beautiful raised slipcover. Everything you see, the stitches and all that. And so yeah, I bought a DVD, and I think I have to admit though, I've said over and over again, I would love, especially now that Arrow has access to the Warner Brothers New Line library. I would hope that maybe they'll do a nice like double pack with the remake of Texas Chainsaw Massacre and this one with both the unrated and rated versions on 4K and stuff. I'm still hoping that we can get that here in the very near future. But I think even if I did, I'll probably still hang on to this. This is just too cool, you know. And I do think it was kind of crazy though. Like I said, I just saw CHH do his video on it, and then just yesterday I go into the store and I find it for myself. So, the disc is in great shape. You still got the inserts. So yeah, so hard to believe, huh? But yeah, whoever took care of that. I mean, at some point I do want to get a newer case because you see the tape residue on there. So yeah, at some point I want to put this in a nicer case. But yeah, but what are the odds, right? See it on a video, and then just a couple of days later, I walk into a store and there it is waiting for me. So yeah, it's really cool to have this. So anyway, so that's it. These are our films that we picked up, and of course, shocker on 4K. So I do recommend it, but like I said, it's not there. It's a great transfer, great sound, but just be prepared. You're gonna see some flubs in the movie. So, but anyway, so that's gonna do it. So if anybody took the time to watch all this, I thank you for doing it. I appreciate you for doing it. I honestly hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, could you please leave it a like? And if you haven't already, please go ahead and subscribe to my channel. And that's it, boils and ghouls. Everybody take care. Have a good night. And it's 2 days to Halloween, so all of you have a good, wonderful, safe, spooky Halloween. And I'll see you all later.